This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, Election Day. Well, voters are braving the storm across the county to turn in their paper ballots for the general election. The interim county clerk, Mark Kampf, is pleased with the turnout and is hoping to get volunteers to help with the hand count.
It's going absolutely great. We've been keeping up with the crowd. People have been, patient and good in line, and I couldn't be more proud of the voters in this county who have come out. No matter how bad the weather is, they're here to vote. It's just amazing how people have hung in there through the rain because they find that how important it is to vote on Election Day, and we're ready for them to come in.
When you vote early, they have a lot of time to look at the ballots and maybe manipulate them. I don't know. Just to be on the safe side, I like to come today when they're overwhelmed with ballots and there's not much time in between to do anything else with them.
If they really don't want to stand in line or stand in the rain, they're more than welcome to fill out their ballots at home and drop them off here. It's very convenient. We use the same sort of controls over those ballots, signature verification and verifying that they are valid voters. We also check to make sure that another ballot hasn't been submitted for them in advance. So we double check everything we can with regard to those ballots. And we have a convenient ballot drop off. And many people have been using it more than we expected, which is absolutely fantastic. We've made it easy for seniors and people with disabilities to get to the front of the line because we have 2 lines this year. And everyone else has been just great and patient and kind to each other.
I think this is a good voting process. I'm glad to be doing it in person. Glad to be out here with the people and see this line too.
We are accumulating ballots during the day here and shipping them up to Tonopah by secure boxes with the sheriffs with their cameras on inside their cars, so there's no worry about anyone touching those ballots. And so we believe that we will have pretty good results by 11-ish tonight. Hopefully we get through things. But we have a meeting tomorrow at 1, 3, and 6 for volunteers who have been volunteers before or new volunteers that may want to sign up. And we're going to start counting on Thursday morning. Yeah, it's going to be at the Valley Electric Conference Center, different venue, different process that allows us to do this out in the open with observers can come in and watch what we're doing. And I'm just amazed at the overpouring of volunteers that have come through today. I probably have about 35 more emails from people who have stepped up and said, we want to show the rest of the country that we here in Nye County can do the job. Yes, we will be giving those information to the Secretary of State as soon as we can have some preliminary results, and then we will also be releasing those to the Nye County website. Well, we have until the end of the day on the 17th to finish our count, and we are going to be working over the weekend, and we have 7 days to get it done, and with the number of ballots that we have is a bit less than we had anticipated in our initial count, and also our revised process is going to allow us to get through much more ballots much more quickly with minimal errors that the reading and out loud had caused because people had to be able to hear and read clearly. And so now with just reading the ballot and tallying it, we should be able to go through them much quicker with less recounts.
And a fully engulfed structure fire on Indall threatens to ignite nearby structures on the west side of town.
So late day, right before the dinner hour, crews were dispatched for a report of a structure fire. As crews were responding, we were notified that is in fact a large shed, which was in close proximity to the primary dwelling. We arrived on location, found fire showing through the roof. It had extended to some fascia located on the dwelling, which was located within feet of that structure. So the primary objective was to actually protect the exposure, which is the house. And so the crews did that. They stretched 2 lines. One was for exposure protection. The second line was for direct fire attack. They quickly controlled the fire, eliminated the threat to the structure. We went up into the attic space to make sure there's no extension up there and found it to be cool and without flame or smoke. And we commenced the investigation. The investigation revealed that it was most likely at the hands of a juvenile who may have been experiencing some fireplace, some curiosity with fire, and accidentally ignited that fire. There was one resident that sustained minor burns to the upper extremities, the area of the wrists, and was transported to the local hospital. The contents in there included some large blankets and things like that, and so one of them were still smoldering, so we quickly went out and moved that material to the outside. The shed was actually relatively large in size. It actually had an attached front porch, so it was a very nice structure. It was in close proximity to the dwelling, so when the contents went up and it ignited the building, obviously it was so close to the house that it started, actually the fascia board on the side when it was igniting. Just like last several days, we've been dealing with some wind issues. It didn't really have a great impact on this fire, but it did aid us. But just the amount of wind that we had was taking it away from the house, so it was more of a radiant heat issue against the structure.
Teen is transported by air last night after colliding with an SUV on Wilson Road. Chief Lewis gives the details.
The accident involved an SUV and a three-wheel off-road vehicle. And so there was a collision that occurred. The investigation is underway with the sheriff's office, but the rider of the trike had sustained serious injuries and was transported to Base 21 and subsequently flown to trauma. As part of the ongoing investigation, but it's our understanding that that vehicle may not have been illuminated. It was after dark, and other motorists reported not seeing that vehicle prior to the actual impact. So it apparently was a dangerous situation that culminated in a bad accident.
And Fire Chief Scott Lewis gives us an update now on an accident that was initially reported as a single vehicle accident. Here are all those details.
We were dispatched a report of a motor vehicle accident with injuries. The initial report that there was a motorcyclist that was injured. As crews arrived on location, they found in fact it was a two-vehicle accident. One vehicle had gone off the roadway and possibly through a fence. There was a motorcyclist that had sustained serious injuries, which warranted flight. We then took that patient and transported him to Base 21, and that patient was subsequently flown to trauma. It was our understanding that the occupants of the vehicle had fled the scene prior to our arrival.
And the sheriff's office says the NHP is investigating that incident in which several people reportedly fled that scene in another vehicle shortly after the crash involving the motorcycle. The rider, who suffered head trauma, was taken via Mercy Air. News 25 will return right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, a company based in Southern California has its sights set on Mars and beyond, and they plan to use a portion of Nye County's airport to test the technology to get them there. The Nye County Commissioners have approved a property access agreement with Python Incorporated that allows them to test their rocket engines on a 1-acre parcel of land at the Tonopah Airport. Python engineer Jamie Haddon appeared before the commissioners to better explain what his company will be doing there.
I'm an engineer with Python. We're a very early stage startup launch vehicle company founded in Bishop, California. And one of the things you need to do when you're running a launch vehicle company is test your engines. We looked far and wide for where we might be able to do that. And the number one top spot is located at your airport, just east of town. So we'd very much like to lease some of the property there. We're grateful for Lorena and her colleagues to prepare a property use agreement, which I don't know if you've had a chance to look at, but we would like to request a few amendments to that and then seek approval for that. The actual location of where we will be, I don't know how we're going to work out the details if we do that, but staking out an acre. It's in the historical World War II era run-up area for runway 29er at the airport. Our rocket engine is about this big. It's printed and 3D printed in Inconel, which is a really heat-tolerant metal. There's 9 of them at the bottom end of the rocket, and the rocket is just a little over a meter in diameter, about this big. This is a very, very small rocket, and we will be testing those engines one at a time and in multi-engine stages. So it's less of a dramatic event than you might be used to if you're looking at a rocket engine test at Stennis or at SpaceX's McGregor test site. But it is a rocket, and it does burn rocket propellant. We use furfuryl alcohol, which is just another industrial alcohol, as our fuel, and we use nitric acid as our oxidizer. The alcohol is not an issue. The nitric acid is a rather toxic chemical. Yes. Our contract limits us to store and use no more than 250 gallons of each commodity on site. So that's our principal means of mitigation, is just small quantities. So we're talking about small engines, small quantities of propellant, and our principal mitigation for spills and fires is on-site water. So we bring in our propellant commodities and on-site water. We don't use facility water. I would also make note that our contract obliges us to be EPA compliant through Nevada's equivalent thereof.
I think the safety concerns are very valid. You know, if there's a fire, I think those are great questions. I think the environmental questions are good questions as well. But I also think he's mitigated it, and I believe that he's answered them to my satisfaction, and I hope to the board's.
And again, there is a clause in there that we all agree. If we don't want you there any longer, you're out. And if we're going to build homes in that area, you know what's going to happen. You know, just so you understand where we all fit. So, again, we're happy that you're going to be there.
The agreement provides Python access to 1 acre at a price of $250 per month. As Commissioner Frank Carboni mentioned, either the county or Python may terminate the agreement at any time and for any reason.
And a new Cleveland Clinic study shows that over-the-counter medications claiming to help with high cholesterol aren't very effective. Here's a cardiologist to explain.
What we looked at is the effect of 5 milligrams of a low-dose statin compared to placebo and 6 commonly used dietary supplements for the reduction of LDL cholesterol in a patient population that is at intermediate risk for future adverse cardiovascular events.
Dr. Laughlin says they studied 6 supplements including fish oil, garlic, cinnamon, turmeric, plant sterols, and red yeast rice, and then compare them to statins, which are prescription medicines. The results show that a low-dose statin was much more effective at reducing cholesterol than any of the supplements. He says that they also found that statins are just as safe as the supplements. In addition, the supplements did very little in helping to reduce cholesterol. So what does that mean for people with high cholesterol?
If you've had conversations with your doctor about starting cholesterol-lowering medicines, it's probably best to continue those conversations and not resort to over-the-counter supplements, which generally don't have any great data included in this trial that they actually reduce cholesterol and decrease cardiovascular risk.
And medical experts say that it's probably best for people who are taking those kinds of supplements to treat high cholesterol to stop and switch to more proven medications. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, a couple who takes pride in their show dogs stopped by KPVM recently to introduce us to them. You might recognize one of them. The reigning hunk from Pahrump and his wife brought their pups. Let's take a meet the Fluker family.
We have Angel Hope Fluker and Mega Money Fluker.
The Fluker kids down here are important. Why?
Because they came so far in such a short period of time as far as being show dogs, and I'm just so proud of them.
They're what type of dog?
They're Basenjis. One is Mibre Basenji. That's my daughter. My son is a Khazar.
And what does that mean?
Right. It's just the different types of Basenjis.
Breeding, a breeder. One is from Florida, and one was from California. Okay. And then went on to move to Arizona. and that's where we met her, and we found Angel's match.
Yeah?
And now she's pregnant.
Yeah, gonna have babies soon, huh?
Yeah.
So they're doing pretty good in the show world, huh?
Yeah, they've been winning first place the both have been winning first place for the last year or so since I really started trying to, put them in shows and stuff like that.
You won first place a while ago, didn't you?
Yes, a couple times I have.
Where are you guys showing your dogs?
Well, we've been to Florida, we've been to Arizona, all over California, we've been in Vegas, we've been in Utah. We've done shows all over, pretty much.
Basenjis are typically from where?
The Congo. They were raised in the Congo. They're one of the oldest dogs around, and they used to be given to the pharaohs as presents for hunting.
Beautiful dogs.
Yes.
And so typically, what's their characteristics? What's their breed like?
They're
Stubborn.
very, very independent, but yet they're very bright. They're very loyal and protective. They don't howl. I mean, they howl, but they don't bark or anything like that. But they let you know when somebody's coming on the property or whatever, and they keep you well alerted to strangers or whatever.
Those were the cutest pooches. And along that line, Never Forgotten Animal Society is introducing us to another beautiful black puppy named Dahlia.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, this is Pat with Never Forgotten Animal Society, and I'm here with Dahlia. Dahlia is a Lab German Shepherd mix. She's approximately 14 weeks old, and she is just the sweetest little girl. She is very, very sweet and very much likes to be held and involved in everything, and I do mean everything. And she will be somebody's BFF. She has a very mild manner. She is a very lab-oriented dog. You put water in there, and she is all about it. She's in it. She's out around it. She'll dig in it. She's just a very, very sweet little girl at 14 weeks old. So she's looking for her forever home, and you can come to Never Forgotten Animal Society at 520 East Street, Suite C. We have a sign on our window that says we have kittens. Come on in that door and come and meet her. We are open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 5 o'clock every day, so no appointment is necessary. So please stop by and meet Dahlia and her sister, Lavender, and see if this would be a match for you and your home. Our number is 775-537-8674, and please come and meet Dahlia.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Outside today, although a lot of rain.
Lots of rain. There's even snow, a bit of sleet, and definitely ice on the pass between Pahrump and Vegas. More weather after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. Happy Tuesday. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and what a beautiful fall weather map we have for you. Look at this, 39, 40 degrees up in Fernley and Fallon. Carson City, the cool spot at 37 degrees, 28 as we head towards morning, and that's freezing temperatures up there. Brr! Tonopah and Goldfield saw 43 and 42 degrees, Beatty at 52, 56 in Amargosa, 61 at the hot spot of the state, Las Vegas. Excitement. Death Valley, 73 degrees. Wow, you're getting kind of downright chilly out there for Death Valley. Here in the Paradise Pahrump, it's 54 degrees, current temperature. 57 just a little bit earlier. Those winds bedeviled us all day long, starting at 6:13 a.m. to the tune of 24 miles per hour. Driving that wind sideways. It was a very humid day, 69% humidity. And sunset about 40 minutes ago. Winds, are they calming down? I think they will overnight, but south-southeasterly at 20 miles per hour. We're heading for a low tonight at 43, but in some of the upper elevations, particularly Mountain Falls, as you head over the hump into Pahrump, it could get a little bit dicey tonight. They've got a snow weather warning until 10 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. So watch that later. Road conditions pretty good right now. And as we head on into the week, what does it look like? Well, it's a pretty nice week, actually. Temperatures moderate in the high 50s and low 60s as we build towards a Sunday, Monday peak at 62 degrees, 61 on Tuesday. Winds staying under 10 miles per hour. Not too bad. Clouds come and go, but nobody's really talking about any rain possibilities in there. So we're just going to kind of enjoy the beautiful sunsets that the clouds provide and call that good. It should be a great day on Thursday. They'll make your plans for something special Thursday when it's sunny. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Yes, everyone, please be careful out there on those roadways. That rain is still coming down.
Really fast. We are going to be posting the election results on our
Yes.
KPVM Facebook page tonight. They're going to be coming in late. We want to let everybody know Veterans Day, 2 to 4 p.m., November 11th. It's going to be at Chief Tacoma Cemetery. We will let everybody know all the updates on our KPVM Facebook page. Of course, election day results on that page as well. And you can find that flyer on the KPVM Facebook page.
That's right.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Drive careful.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.